The Range Rover is a true motoring icon. Since the first version went on sale more than 40 years ago, it's introduced millions of owners to the idea of a luxury SUV. It's a real jack of all trades too, able to carry you, your family and their luggage over hill and dale. But there's a problem. Because it's seen as a consummate all-rounder, it is an expensive choice even in this market. And key rivals such as the Audi Q7, Volvo XC90 and Land Rover's own Discovery are cheaper to buy. Once reserved for the landed gentry and footballers, today the Range Rover appeals to anyone looking for space, quality and the knowledge that they'll be able to go anywhere on or off-road. Attitudes are changing all the time though, especially when it comes to big SUVs like this. So the question is, can the Range Rover still cut it next to leaner, greener competition? In this review, we'll find out. There are 4 engines on offer in the Range Rover, including a fairly frugal hybrid. Our pick at the range though is the entry-level 3-litre diesel which we've got in this car. It gives you plenty of low-end pulling power but emits a fairly heady 196 grams per kilometre of CO2. If you want more power, then there's a 4.4-litre diesel V8 option with 334 brake horsepower and even a 5-litre V8 petrol with over 500 brake horsepower. Both cost more to buy and run though, and in the real world, the difference in performance isn't that big. The Range Rover excels when it comes to ride comfort. All versions of the car get air suspension as standard, and that means you glide over most of the ruts and bumps you'll find on British tarmac. Ride control is excellent. In fact, it's even better than most luxury saloons. Now, the Range Rover is a very big car, and there's no getting away from that, but one of its tricks is in hiding its bulk very well. It's more agile than you might expect, and it feels precise in most situations. In fact, it's only when you're hurtling along a countryside B road that it tends to pitch and lean through the corners. The Range Rover has a well-deserved reputation for being a comfortable car with which to do big journeys. And from this supportive driving position, it's easy to imagine crossing entire countries, continents even, without feeling tired. This steering wheel moves in and out and up and down electrically, and every car gets electric front seats with adjustable lumbar support as standard. Now, once you've clambered up into this driver's seat, it's easy to find the right position, and it gives you a great view over the road ahead as well, which is all down to height. More about that in a moment. But if you need to park the Range Rover, you might imagine that its size would make it feel very hefty, when in fact these straight lines let you see exactly where the edges of the car are. So actually parking it is quite easy, and that's helped by standard parking sensors and a rear view camera. Now onto height again. So imagine you need to lower the car to let somebody else in, or indeed raise it to go off-road. Because of the air suspension, it is but the work of a moment. So if I turn the car on, we'll be able to see that in action. It's all down to this button here on the center console. If I press and hold it, the whole car lowers as if by magic, and if I need to raise it again, then it's just the button the other way and the whole car raises itself up to what is now normal height, and if I press it again, we're going to go up to what's called off-road height. And speaking of going off-road, gone are the days where you'd have to pull levers in the cabin to activate things like diff locks and make the car able to go off-road. No, these days it's all controlled electronically using this panel. Now we've got several different modes on offer here. We can choose snow, rain and ice, we can choose forest, we can choose desert, and we can choose to go over rocky terrain. Essentially anything that you're likely to encounter. And all that makes the Range Rover one of the most capable off-roaders on sale today. And that's despite its relatively newfound status as also being a luxury car. It shouldn't come as any surprise to find that the materials on show here are among the best around. Leather trim is standard, and the craftsmanship on offer is of an extremely high standard, and it all feels well put together. That said, rivals such as the Audi Q7 and Bentley Bentayga move things on even more. This large touchscreen infotainment system is called InControl Touch Pro, and the clue is in the name because everything that there's a button for in the cabin you can pretty much control through this screen, and it is loaded with features, not just the things that you'd expect like Bluetooth connectivity and sat-nav, but also little extras like ambient lighting, various 4x4 modes. I can even deploy the car's tow bar if I've got it fitted without leaving my seat. So let's see how easy it is to connect my mobile phone and then set a destination in the sat-nav. Now my phone is handily stored away down here, Bluetooth is on, so I'm going to tap to connect my phone, and the system is now discoverable. So if I go into my phone and select Range Rover, which is in range, there we go, selected that. It's immediately asked me if I want to pair with the phone, which I'm doing. Now we used to criticise Range Rover's infotainment systems for being clunky and slow to respond, but this new version is very fast and it works very well. There we go, I'm connected straight away. And that means I can make phone calls and listen to my music. So let's see how easy it is to set a destination in the Range Rover sat-nav. So if I press to go onto the map view and then this little button here, I'm going to type an address, and as usual I'm going to head for our offices in Twickenham. If I select city, town or postcode, I can type it in very quickly. There we go, it's found it already. Click search and it's found it straight away. There we go. Now this map is very well laid out and the whole system is very graphically rich, so it's easy to see where you're going. But one of the other things the Range Rover can do now is put that information directly in front of your eyes, because although the Range Rover has had a digital dashboard for a long time now, with this latest model it gives you different theme options as well as the option of putting the map right in front of your eyes. If I select menu and go to display settings, I can select the option to have the map projected on a full screen basis. So this system is now not dissimilar to the one used in modern Audis, which is called virtual cockpit display, and that's a system we've rated very highly, and similarly it works very well in the Range Rover too. There is masses of space here in the front of the Range Rover, and two full-size adults will be able to sit here side by side in absolute comfort. You also get some nifty features, because not only is there this central armrest here, each seat also gets its own adjustable armrest as well. And if you need space to put all your stuff, well, there's plenty of it dotted around inside the Range Rover. These door bins down here can easily hold a large water bottle. There's two cup holders here which can be hidden by this slider. There's plenty of space here under the central armrest, which can also function as a fridge, and you get not one but two glove boxes, ideal for storing documents or in our case a light snack. Anyone sitting here in the second row of seats also gets a very good deal, because even if you're sitting behind a very tall driver, and I'm quite a large person, I've still got plenty of legroom and headroom. And even if you sit three adults back here, you're unlikely to hear any complaints over long journeys. These seats also recline at the touch of a button. Now, this being a Range Rover, you can obviously expect a fair degree of luxury back here, and each of the outer rear seats is heated, and you've also got your own climate and ventilation controls. There's also two extra 12-volt power supplies, although interestingly, no extra USB ports back here. This central seat is also pretty clever. If you bring it forward a little bit, then you've got two extra cup holders in here and an extra storage space, but if we swing it back into position and then bring forward the whole section, then you've got what's called a ski hatch, and that allows you to load long items such as skis or perhaps a set of golf clubs into the car lengthways without taking up too much extra room. Now, bearing in mind the sort of family who's likely to buy the Range Rover, chances are you're going to need to take a lot of luggage with you as well. So let's have a look inside, and the first thing to note is that the Range Rover's boot is all electric. You also get this split tailgate, which serves a number of functions. It does give you a great platform to change your shoes or even to load items into the boot. The trouble is, once it's extended, it's quite difficult to reach in and find your stuff again. So if you're mid-journey and your shopping starts to roll around, you're going to need to really clamber clamber in to get it back. That said, there is a tremendous amount of space on offer here. You can easily get a full set of holiday luggage in here, or even a couple of sets of golf clubs, and still have room to spare. You also get a little bit of space under the floor next to the spare wheel, and if you're in need of even more space, you can drop the rear row of seats using these buttons, and it's all electric, although it does take a bit of time. The Range Rover is a very expensive choice, and even a passing glance at the options list will have you adding even more to that asking price. And it's not cheap to tax or to run. In fact, the only good news is that it copes very well with depreciation, and if you choose the right version, then you can keep costs to a minimum. The standard Vogue spec cars are well equipped, but our recommended Vogue SE trim level gets you extras including a dual view infotainment screen, which allows passengers to watch different content to the driver, a more adjustable driver's seat, an upgraded stereo, and headlights which dip their beam automatically. You do get lots of safety kit, including automatic emergency braking, and when the Range Rover was last tested by Euro NCAP in 2012, it achieved the full 5 stars. It might be a unique proposition, but if you're tired of conventional luxury saloons and want something that will carry you and the family in absolute comfort, then the Range Rover deserves to be on your new car shortlist. In fact, in a lot of ways, it's pretty much all the car you're ever going to need. Now, for plenty more on the Range Rover, including our full online review, head to whatcar.com. But before you do anything, click subscribe and never miss a video.